Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the channel. My name is Tony, this is the 15-Minute Gamer, and today I'm reviewing Psychonauts 2. So, what is Psychonauts 2? It's combining quirky missions and mysterious conspiracies. Psychonauts 2 is a platform adventure game with cinematic style and tons of customizable psychic powers. It's currently out on Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, PlayStation 4 and PC. The price is an eye-watering $54.99 even on PC, but it is free on Game Pass if you have that. In this review is the PC version, but before we get into the review, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, tap the notification bell, smash the like button and comment below to let me know what you think. Right, without further ado, let's crack straight on with it. Psychonauts 2 is developed by Double Fine, and for those who don't know, the studio was founded by Lucasfilm Tim Schafer. Don't know who he is, Google him. And one thing this studio do excel at is great dialogue and unique ideas. Like, every game they put out is really unique, and even though sometimes the plot isn't always the best, the writing of the characters and their voiceovers is always top drawer, and this is no exception. Psychonauts 2 picks up immediately after the events of the first game. However, it does a great job of getting you up to speed in like this little intro video that's really well done. So don't worry if you haven't played the first one. Like, the first one came out like 14 years ago. I'm sure you probably would have forgot by now if you have played it. And in this intro video, you'll meet the main character, Raz or Rasputin. So he starts his first day as an intern at the International Spy Agency of Psychonauts, and that's where it all starts. The plot basically revolves around that old cliche of spy films. There's a mole in the agency. There's also a kidnapping and return of its leader, and the resurrection of an old enemy. There are also lots of fun side plots to discover too as you go through the story. One of the first things I did notice about this game was the voiceovers, and on the main, the voiceovers are fantastic. The script is really well written, and it is funny. I wouldn't say funny out loud funny, like you're not going to be laughing all the time, but it's one of them that will just make you kind of laugh as you go through. Psychonauts 2 picks up many story aspects from like high school comedy of like your first day at school. There's weird mysteries, and it also surprisingly touches on a wide range of mental health issues, and I found this quite interesting as you went through, just seeing how they handled it, and on the whole, handled it very well. In terms of gameplay, Psychonauts 2 is a 3D platformer. Not totally, but there is a lot of 3D platforming in there. There's a number of small hub worlds to explore in the quotation marks real world, but most of the story missions take place in someone's head, which is why the mental health thing comes into play quite a bit, because as you can imagine, I would hate to think what the inside of my head would be like, so I'm glad they didn't go there. This allows for a large range of different locations, and also the locations that change and develop depend on the thoughts of the person. So one example early on is a hospital, but when you visit later on in the story, it's now a hospital themed casino because you've made the character want to gamble. So yeah, how that changes is really well done. When not platforming, you'll be fighting various baddies, and these are aspects of the character's mind kind of linked into mental health again, from like sensors that want to stamp you out of existence, to a judge that attacks you with a gavel, to flying things with weights attached to the feet, and each one have like a range of attacks and abilities that can be countered. The combat is introduced gradually as you progress, and the difficulty does increase in a nice satisfying manner as well. The combat and platforming on the whole are alright, but I would say, I don't know, both seem to be lacking in some ways. Like when you attack, I didn't feel there was like much weight behind your actions. And also when you're platforming, I found some of it to be a little bit annoying. Like it just seemed to be annoying for design's sake. So yeah, it's just maybe two slight down points there. The psychic abilities are fun and include things like telekinesis. There's one that lights enemies on fire, or you use it like set pictures on fires to like get to certain points. And there's also clairvoyance where you can take over characters and see what they're seeing. Again, I felt these were, again, alright. They're incorporated well, but I didn't feel they were fully utilized a lot of the time. I think there could have been a lot more here. However, they can be leveled up and you can choose which 4 you have bound to your keys. So at least you can put some variation in. So you might like a certain one better, or a certain level may need you to use one, so you have to sacrifice one of your others to fit it. They can be swapped in and out pretty easily. However, for me, the main reason to play this game is isn't the platforming or combat, it's the script and discovering where the game is going to next. And even though I'm not a massive platforming fan, there are some unique and fun places to jump around. Like, remember when I mentioned the hospital before? One of the platforming sections there is you listen to the story while jumping over x-rays, and like the story plays out behind you, and I thought that was really well done. Psychonauts 2 does a great job with its scale and perspective as well, and it reminds you constantly that you're in a dream. So real world physics and logics may not apply, so there'll be big things going on and things that couldn't necessarily happen in the real world. Lengthwise, the game will take you about 14 hours to complete, and you know what? That's fine. I think it would have maybe outstayed its welcome a little if there was any more. I think for what they did, they've made the game almost a perfect length. For the length though, some of the levels are pretty short, but they all feature some very unique setups and are a lot of fun to explore. I won't spoil any here, but they're a lot of fun. On the graphics side, I quite like the art style. I did see some people whinging that it's a bit ugly, but the characters kind of look like puppets on a deliberate front, and the way they move and interact and react, and I liked it all. I thought the graphics were really good, and there is some nice touches as well. Like, you can clairvoyance a mouse very early on, and when you look at the character, you're now a block of cheese, which you kind of expect. The environments all look amazing, and there's usually good visible clues to show you where to go next. There's lots of collectibles to gather as you go around, and again, the visual clues here are there with lots of glows and neon effects. In summary, Psychonauts 2 has more unique ideas in a 14-hour games than most games or developers will ever come up with in their lifetime. You can see the developers love this game and what they wanted to achieve. I also believe there was no crunch to get this game done. Like, they've really let the developers just develop the game they wanted, and that is fantastic. We don't see that very much now in gaming. Yeah, the platforming and combat are a little weak, but the story, characters, and writing make this one hell of a fun experience. So even if you don't like 3D platformers and you don't like puzzle games, just have a guide up and just experience it for the story. You won't regret it. And the fact it's free on Game Pass just makes it all the better. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. Let me know in the comments below what you think, and I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.